Hello, this is Devin. I am the lead developer at DevPress, and I just wanted to give you an overview of the Gather theme and give some basic setup instructions and show you how it works. So you can see when you first load it, I got some dummy posts in here, and they all load in a nice masonry grid, and you can go to an individual post, and it shows up. If you don't have any widget set, it'll show up as a single column. So the first thing I think most people do when they set up a new site is adjust the menus. So let me show you what options we have for this theme and how you do that. If you're logged in, you can go to this menu up here and click menus. If you're looking at the dashboard, that's of course in the appearance menu under menus. And I already have one of these set up. It's the primary menu. And the way I have it set up now is it's in the primary menu location. But if I wanted it to show up instead of above the header, below the header, there's another menu location we can use, which is the secondary menu. And if you do that, it'll pop down below. And you also have the option, if you like, of having two menus up there at the top. And the way you would do that, you can just set up another menu. I'll select one I already have created and just set that one at the secondary menu location, and now you have two menus. One other thing with the menus is you'll notice I have a couple social icons here, one for Twitter, one for GitHub, and these are really easy to add. I got a number of the social networks set up. So let's say you wanted to link your Instagram account from your website. You just need to type that in as a custom link, and we'll call it Instagram, and make sure to have the correct URL, and then save your menu, and then that will automatically get the appropriate icon, Instagram, and it floats it right. So that's the quick overview of menus. Let's talk about widgets for a minute. There's a number of widget areas for this theme. There's a couple at the bottom. You can have a column of 3. This actually automatically will create columns, so if you just have one in there, it will take up the entire space here. If you have 2, it'll be 50%. If you have 3, it'll be 30%, more or less. And then if you have more than that, then they'll just go down in columns. But you also might want to have a sidebar, either a left or right sidebar on the post page. And to do that, just go into Appearance, go to Widgets, and then in the sidebar section here, just drag in the ones you would like. Let's do a few here. Once those are in, you can refresh the page out here, and you'll see a sidebar is automatically added. Now let's get into some of the customization options. If you're in the dashboard, you can click Customize. If you're on the front end of the site, just go down here and click Customize. So since we were just talking about the widgets, let's talk about some additional layout options here. You can have the sidebar on the right, or you can have the sidebar on the left, if that works better for you. On the main page, on the home page and the archive page, you can have a 3-column layout if you want. You could have 4 columns, if that works better for you. You could do a 2-column, and you have the option of putting the sidebar on there as well if you like. Or you could just go for a standard layout if you don't want to have the masonry look. And again, choose whether you want the sidebar or not. But let's go back to the default here, which is the 3-column. Now I'll walk you through some of the color customizations and other options you have. So the tagline for the site shows up here under the title. If you don't want a tagline, just remove that, it'll take it out. You can center that text if you like. You can change the background color of the header to something really bright and obnoxious, even if you choose. You can upload an image to go in the background area there if you like, which can be scaled or repeated. And you can also upload a logo, which will replace this text here if you choose. Additional options for this upper area I'll talk about when we get to the typography section. For navigation, you can really choose all the colors that you want for the primary menu, the secondary menu, the hover colors, the drop-down background colors. There's a lot of options in there, or you can just leave it as default if you like. You also have the option of adding a search box here, and you see when you add that, it gives users another way to search on the site. Here's all the color options. I won't go into all of them, but you can play with these, change the primary and secondary colors, which will affect link colors and some of the highlight colors. But if you want to get more granular, there's also options for doing that for more of the text. Background option, pretty self-explanatory. The layout we already covered. There's a couple of general options here. By default on posts, the featured images are displayed. You can hide those if you like. Same with post dates up at the top, those can be changed. In the typography options, you can change the font. There's a lot of font options here. These are all Google fonts, and you'll have to go to Google Fonts if you want to see what they look like before you do that, or you can just kind of pick and choose and maybe find a real neat one that works for you. And you can do that for the title, you can do that for the primary font, which is the font that shows in text here, and you can also do it for the secondary font, which is what shows up in all these titles. For the footer, you can change the text that shows up here, and I think that's about it in terms of customization options. So hopefully this answers most of the questions you might have, and if you have any others, go ahead and send an email or open a support ticket. Hope you enjoy playing with this theme.